All right, this is Anthony Michael Hall. You're watching Mogul Media TV. Stay tuned.
This is the top choice for entrepreneurs, Mogul Media Television. We're here with Mr. Anthony Michael Hall. How are you, sir?
Good, Showtime. How are you, sir?
Good.
Good.
This is your first trade show?
No, I've done a bunch of these. Ever since I did the Dead Zone, I started doing the circuit with the conventions, and I enjoy it, man. I love to come see people having a good time, meet the fans, and it's all about them, you know? It's appreciated. So I enjoy coming to these events and having a good time this weekend. Yeah.
You've done a lot in your career. Weird Science, Breakfast Club, Edward Scissorhands. Talk about that experience with Tim Burton.
Tim Burton's a great artist, man. He's done a lot of great work over the years, you know, a lot of great films. I worked with him on Scissorhands in 1990. He made that film in Tampa Bay. It was a great experience, you know. I've had a long career, been at this since like the early 80s. And that was a standout film because he was a real good artist, you know, and it's cool working with Johnny Depp too, good guy. Yeah.
Did you like the label of Rat Pack?
No, I never did. It was made up by a magazine at the time that interviewed a bunch of actors that were my age in that era. And you know, I always thought it was kind of goofy. It's a reference to the kind of a spin on the old Rat Pack thing, but it never really bothered me. It was just kind of goofy. But it became a way for people to kind of identify, I guess, some actors from the 80s and that kind of thing. But it's all good.
And also you worked with the late, great John Hughes. What was that experience like?
Oh, John Hughes was great, Showtime. He was an excellent guy to work for. Not only was he a good writer, but his real intelligence was letting people collaborate. You know, he let you come up with stuff, he would let you improvise. He had a lot of heart, man. He would be right there for you when we were shooting. He was really very much involved every step of the way. Like I said, it was cool because he was such a good writer, but he wasn't uptight about changing things or improving or doing different stuff. So it was a great guy to work for. And I always tip my hat to him because that's where I got my start in the business, you know?
God bless you.
Yeah, man.
Out of all the roles you've done in your illustrious career, what was your most difficult role?
When I played Bill Gates, I was very challenged by that. I wanted to do a great job. I read as much as I could about him. And I think I was probably the most amped on that part, you know, because obviously when you're playing the richest guy in the world, you're playing one of the smartest guys in the world too. So I felt I want to do a good service to him by doing a good job. So that was probably the one that I felt the most, as I said, amped up about and excited to play and to do a good job, you know, to pull it off. And I wound up getting nominated for like 5 Emmys. I don't know if we won any. I don't think we won any that year, but great experience. Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know this, but this record still stands today. You was the youngest cast member on Saturday Night Live. What was that like?
Well, it was incredible because as a kid, I watched it as a little kid in the 70s, and then back in the early 80s, I mean, I was always a huge fan of Eddie's. And Eddie Murphy, I think, was about 19 when he did it. So I didn't have as great or an illustrious stint on it as Eddie, of course, but I was in high school when I got asked to do the thing, and I'd already made some films, so it was an honor. It was a great experience, and I learned a lot, which was also great. You know, in that environment, it's very intense. You know, it's like theater, stand-up comedy, rock and roll, all kind of rolled into one. You got to deliver a show every week, and great experience, as I said. In all these years since, the show's become better and better. But to be a part of that history is an honor, you know, so it was cool.
Mr. Anthony Michael Hall, much continued success.
Thank you, Showtime. All the best to you, man.